What is going on, y'all? Mr. C here with lesson 8.4. Going to be talking about the area of a triangle today. And you might be thinking that sounds pretty easy. We're not going to be going over that simple 1/2 base times height formula. I know you guys know that, although we will be using that today. That's not all we're going over, so don't get too excited. Although today is not very difficult of a lesson. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you do recall, the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. The base of a triangle times the height of a triangle. But we're going to be going over, let's say you don't have the height, but you have a side angle side situation. And if you remember in geometry what a side angle side situation is, it's like you have two sides and then you know the angle between those two sides. That's what we're talking about. So in those cases, you're able to solve for the area, and I'll show you guys how. So side angle side area formula. That's what we're going to be going over. Okay, and we actually are going to prove it. I know we don't prove a ton of stuff, but sometimes it's nice to prove a couple things. So let's say we have a triangle. Call this A, B, C. We have little a, little b, little c. Here's the height. All right. So if we want to find the area of this thing, there's another formula we can use, which is 1/2. In this case would be BC sine A. Okay, when we're talking about this picture. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this old formula. Right. This is the one we're going to be using today. Area is 1/2 BC sine A. So where do we get that from? Okay, that comes from here. All right, if that's the height of my triangle, all right, what is the sine of A equal to? Okay, well, the sine of A is equal to, remember, at least in this case, it is opposite, which is this height, over hypotenuse, which is B. And we're looking at this right triangle right here. Okay, for this triangle, what is the sine of angle A? It is H over B. All right, and if we were to solve this equation for H, multiply this equation here, both sides by B, you'd have B times the sine of A equals H. Okay, so because B times the sine of A is technically what the height is in this case, we can replace B sine A. Watch, if I get my original equation, 1/2 the base times height. But if we're using this triangle here, that would technically be C would be the base, right? If I'm trying to find the area of this, it's 1/2 C times H. Right? But what did we just say H was? H is B times sine A. So you can take this B sine A, replace it with the H, and get 1/2 BC times the sine of A. Basically, replace the H with B in sine A, and you're also multiplying by the C, and that's how you get your equation. If the proof doesn't make sense, don't really worry. Just know that this equation here, we can use that instead. And we'll go over how we can use it. It's really not too hard. Let's look at an example. All right, I have a triangle. And what do I have? I have a distance of 8 here. I have a distance of 10 here. And this is 30 degrees. Okay, let's say I want to find area. Okay, find the area. This is a side angle side situation because I have 8 and 10. I know those, and I know the angle in between them. So side angle side. And really, we're just plugging them into the formula and solving. It's pretty simple. Like most area problems, it just plug it into the formula and multiply it all out. So This is 1/2, 8 times 10 times the sine of 30. If you recall, sine of 30 is 1/2, right? Sine of 30 is 1/2. That's one we should have memorized. This is 1/2 of 80 times 1/2. Half of 80 is 40, and then another half of that is going to give me a 20 units. I don't think it gave us units, but that's right. 20 units squared. Okay, 20 units squared for that one. If you didn't remember sine 30 is half, you can still plug that right into your calculator and get the answer. Make sure you're in degree mode though when you do that. So, all right, that is the side angle side formula for that. Go ahead, try to do some of those. Check out the homework for today's lesson. If you want to continue on for tomorrow's lesson, let's go ahead and do that. There's one more area formula that we're going to do, which is called Heron's formula. Okay, so this is the beginning of, what am I signing this on Monday? So this would be the beginning of Tuesday, beginning of Tuesday's lesson. Okay, this is Heron's formula. All right, and this one we're not going to prove just because this one, the proof is pretty long. So I'd like you to take my word for it, and it requires some of the trig identities that we didn't go over from chapter 7. So it's pretty long proof here. If you want to check it out, it's on page 555. I imagine a total of 0 of you. Maybe JL will do it. We'll see. Let's go over this. So here we have a triangle. A, B, C, and I should mention this is my side formula. So it does have a nice name, Heron's formula, but this is in side situations where you know all three sides. So here is the formula. Okay. Area is equal to the square root, well, I'll write the square root after, the square root of s times s minus a times s minus b times s minus c. Okay, it's the square root of all of that full product. Now what is s, you're probably asking? S is equal to half of the sum of the sides. So half of a plus b plus c. Okay, so there's kind of a lot of work involved. It's not difficult work, but there is like a lot of adding. So that is my formula for the side examples of a triangle. So let's take a look at this problem here. Find the area. Here's a triangle. We have a distance of 4, 5, and 7. Okay, distance of 4, of 5, and 7. If we want to find the area, first thing to do would be to add up all the lengths and divide them by 2. So find S is half of 4 plus 7 plus 5. 4 plus 7 makes 11, and 11 plus 5 makes 16. If we divide the 16 by 2, S is going to be 8. All right, so that means our area is 8 times 8 minus 7 times 8 minus 4 times 8 minus 5. Really, these numbers, 7, 4, and 5, they're just the side lengths. If I have them in a different order than you, don't freak out. It's really just the side lengths as long as you're subtracting each one. And then we're taking the square root of that. So this is 8 times 1 times 4 times 3, taking that square root. So let's do 8 times 4 times 3. That's a 12 times 8. 12 times 8. What is that, 96? 12 times 8. Okay, 96. So that's going to be not quite my answer. We have the square root of 96, which is, let's think, is that divisible by a perfect square? Is it divisible by 16? It is. It is 16 and 6. So 96 breaks down to 16 and 6. And if you recall, square root of 16 is 4. So this is going to reduce to 4 root 6 units squared. Okay, 4 root 6 units squared. That would be my answer. Okay, so kind of neat. 2 extra formulas for finding the area of a triangle. Let me know if you guys have any questions on either of these formulas. But that is it for Monday and for Tuesday. You know, that's probably easiest one we've had so far, so it won't be a whole lot of work. But yeah, that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Again, let me know if you have questions, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.